New breed, global truth. Shalom, Israel. It's your brother New Breed coming through with another live stream. Welcome, welcome. I see CJ Matthews in the building. Ash is in the house. Diamond. Lachia Coleman's in the building. Yes, indeed. Spiritual Socrates. Free indeed. Yo, what is going on? Ingrid's in the house. Miss Bit, how you doing? How you doing? Oh, Jamie Rios is in the house. Axe of the Apostle, Martinez. What it do? What it do? Marcus in the building. Joey, what's up? Hey, listen, everybody. I hope y'all got y'all libations. I hope y'all got y'all refreshments. This one right here is going to be a doozy. You hear me? There's been a lot of people asking me to decode this particular movie. And, man, I'm going to let you know off the break. There's a lot of things to unpack here. Man, I'm going to tell you right now, there's going to be a lot of information that's given out here for your edification. And I'm going to say this off the break. This particular movie, They Cloned Tyrone, is based on true events. It's a true story, ladies and gentlemen. And I mean that in more than one way. Now, we know that allegedly Jamie Foxx went live on IG, a week or so back. Some would say that was strategically done to pretty much promote the movie, and all of that is all of the whole medical scare. And some would say that all of that is just marketing. That's a marketing ploy, a marketing scheme. I beg to disagree on that. I believe that's true as well. And some of you all believe the same. I believe that they have multiple versions of Jamie Foxx, whether it be a synthetic being, a clone, or artificial intelligence. But some of the more daunting, ominous scenes of this movie really point to something a little bit more looming that is reigning true. Now, we've been speaking about AI. We've been speaking about the clones. We've been speaking about all those things. But y'all, it's more to unpack. There's so much more that happened in that movie that we really got to talk about. All right. Now, I'm going to go ahead and play the trailer. I'm going to chime in on this a little bit, and then we're going to go to a few other sources as I decode the movie. And everybody, as you enter the broadcast, make sure you pound the like button on your way in. All right. Fair use. Federal law allows citizens to redistribute portions of copyrighted material for the purposes of teaching, edification, and so forth. And this video is sped up, so it's transformative in nature. Let's go.
Everything okay in there, baby? I'm just an average man with an average life.
Where money at?
I'm an entrepreneur.
I work in the spirit of the pimp game.
You know your girl gotta know what's going on in these streets. That's the car right there.
Now, look, I want to just say this off the break. A cloning lab in a trap house is one of the things that really stood out to me a whole lot in this movie. I'm coming from the DMV area where there's a lot of vacant homes, particularly in Baltimore. And some of you all come from cities that have a lot of vacant homes. And, they're just there. And there's quite a few scenes that really, really jarred my attention in this movie. And this is one of them. Could they be conducting experiments within the hood? Could they be snatching people up off the streets? Could they be cloning people in the hood? Let's think about it, ladies and gentlemen. There's a whole lot of situations and a lot of circumstances within our United States history where our people were experimented on. I mean, we just cannot deny that. One of the more notable ones would be the Tuskegee experiments. Um, Anytime it comes to furthering their eugenics or whatever type of agenda they would like to spread, it always seems to start off in the hood and in the projects first. So when you look at history, it's really showing you that they have possibly advanced to the point where they are literally trapping out the bandos with cloning labs, places that are degraded, downtrodden, places that people just don't go. Who's to say they really don't have elevators there? I mean, what better place to hide when you really think about it? Satan has always hid in plain sight. Why wouldn't we believe that they hiding right in the middle of the hood? So when I was watching the movie, that really stood out. I'm like, yo, this is some sick stuff, but this can be reality. Anyway, allow us to continue.
Slick, come on. That make your spine senses tingle. Shit, sis.
Like I'm in the Twilight Zone.
Don't let the back door hit you.
We gotta go.
I don't know what that was, but that wasn't me.
Somebody is conducting experiments on us.
Here's another scene that really stood out about this movie that I gotta decode. I really gotta break it down. The chicken. There was some kind of chemical compound within the chicken that had people acting a certain way. And ladies and gentlemen, Chick-fil-A sandwiches, along with Popeyes chicken sandwiches, have 50 plus ingredients, ladies and gentlemen. 50 plus ingredients in some chicken. There's another scene in which the perm is being talked about. Now, for those who believe that this is all far-fetched, I want to talk about something that took place. And this took place in St. Louis in the 1960s. Because this is what a lot of this movie is based on. And it's actually happening now, except they have more technology now and they're doing even more, which we'll break down. But in the 1960s in St. Louis, there was a particular neighborhood. There was a projects. And I believe that this what this movie was really based on. Now, I want to explain to you all what was going on in these projects, man. Because it's crazy. And these are called the Pruitt Lago Projects Housing Complex. Low income housing projects with our people in it. And it was revealed that the Army and scientists secretly sprayed St. Louis with radioactive particles for years to test chemical warfare technology. And they was doing this on our people. It says the United States military conducted top secret experiments on the citizens of St. Louis, Missouri for years, exposing them to radioactive compounds. It says, while it was known that the government sprayed quote unquote harmless zinc sulfide particles over the general population in St. Louis, Professor Lisa Martino, scientist at St. Louis College, claims that a radioactive was also mixed with the compound. She has accurate details, descriptions, as well as photographs, spraying which exposed the unwitting public, predominantly in low income and minority communities. Now, ladies and gentlemen, they've been doing these things. And it's all to curb the opinions of the people. It's all to get people to be more agreeable. In this movie, Who Cloned Tyrone, it was all about getting black folks to be agreeable and get them to just do whatever they're told. And that's what it was about. Getting the lost sheep to stay lost by the foods that they feed them, by the the products that you choose to use. You ladies don't even understand that this is real. They are putting these chemicals in your perm already, and they have been doing this for years. So when I say this is a true story, literally, ladies and gentlemen, this is a true story. Not even to mention the Mouse Utopias projects that was done in the 1960s. A lot of this was done in the 1960s. That's why when you look at this movie, it seems to be in the present, but it has a lot of 60s references, and it also has a lot of nostalgia type of vibe to it, even by the way they dress, because they wanted to show you that they already done this before. But they're giving it to you what they done in the past from a future perspective. That's what's happening in this movie. So it's deep because they try to cloak the movie in comedy. And that's what black people do. They laugh. We like to look at stuff and laugh, but you actually laughing at your own demise. You're actually laughing. Yeah, this is right before crack hit. They were just doing other things. And that's what they're doing now. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they want you to do. They want melanated people to laugh at their own demise, man. Real talk. But let's continue, man. It's a lot to this.
It's in the fucking chicken. Shit and everything.
And the perm. Look at the perm. It's in the chicken and in the perm. Ladies and gentlemen, if we were to read the ingredients, which I'm gonna spare you the rigmarole of sitting here reading the ingredients of the chicken, of the Popeyes chicken and the Chick-fil-A chicken as well. They got y'all thinking that's healthy. But ladies and gentlemen, the perm, I mean, all you got to do is read. Ladies, before you put this stuff in your hair, just like seriously, just read what it says in it. If these ingredients are not nothing natural, what are they doing to you? Literally, what is seeping into your brain? What kind of chemical compounds is going through your hair follicles, going through the roots, and going into your brain? I mean, think about this, ladies and gentlemen. You're trusting these devils who selling you these products. I'm gonna read more up on this because it's chemical warfare, and that's what they was really bringing out in this movie. But we're gonna talk about the cloning as well. But the study was secretive, and I'm reading Daily Mail. We're talking about what took place in St. Louis. The study was secretive for a reason. They didn't have volunteers stepping up and saying, yeah, I want to breathe zinc, sulfide, and radioactive particles. Through her research, she found photographs how the particles were distributed. Now let's look how the particles were distributed. In Corpus Christi, the chemicals was dropped from airplanes over large swaths of city in St. Louis. The Army put chemical sprayers on buildings like schools, public housing projects, and mounted them in station wagons in mobile use. Despite the extent of the experiment, local politicians were not notified about the content of the testing. The people of St. Louis were told that the Army was testing smoke screens to protect cities from a Russian attack. It was pretty shocking, the level of duplicity and secrecy. Now think about it, ladies and gentlemen. We just seen a bunch of smoke, and we don't know where this smoke is coming from. We see this smoke everywhere, and they told you it was a damn forest fire. Ladies and gentlemen, where is the smoke really coming from? Are they doing the same thing over again? Have they really gotten that crafty where they put the same ingredients, the sulfide, within the perm? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's one of the active ingredients. You see how all this goes around? Back then they had to, do different things. Now they're doing both. They're putting stuff in the air and in the hair. And in the cleaning products, all of these things. I'm telling you, this is why you got to stay close to the Most High, stay close to the Creator, because they're telling you, and this is not something you laugh at. This is not a comedy. This is what's happening. They putting it right in your face. It's called lesser magic. They want you to see what they're up to because they feel like they won't have karmatic depth because they're telling you. I'm gonna tell you right now, you melanated women out there, you look so much better with that thick, coarse hair. I mean, I'm just saying. All the brothers, can I get an amen for that? If you're a man who loves to see a woman having her nice, thick, natural hair, it just looks better. I'm telling you, you just carry a different vibe. You have a different frequency to yourself. It just is what it is. Real ones know. Yep. You're right, Tesh. It is lesser magic because they're informing you exactly what they're doing. Ladies, please look at the chat. There's a lot of brothers saying amen. All right, let's go.
Great drink. Come on,
Grape drink, even in some of these drinks.
let's go. It's a hallway. We don't do nothing about it. Nobody will.
Chill. Just fucking chill.
Now, the movie also got into MK Ultra mind control. It seemed like the main character was some type of Project Monarch experiment, because at one point of the movie, and spoiler alert, I'm gonna give my spoiler because I'm pretty sure a lot of people seen it. That's why I waited a few days before I talked about this. Goddess Pink Tiger, thank you for the $10 contribution. I appreciate the support. Says New Breed, a real one. Me and the Most High is one. All praises. Thank you for that. I appreciate the support. Definitely appreciate the support. And there's one scene in the movie where he's knocking on the door to attempt to feed his mother. And unfortunately, his mother never opens the door and answers the door. And then towards the end of the film, you'll see that it's a video playing. It's like, audio playing, a basic audio playing, like a record player, not a video, but like a record player. And he can hear that through the door. And it was a recording. And, this is typically what they do to clones or MK Ultra victims to keep them together, pretty much keep them in a routine. You have to give them a routine. They're almost robotic, if you will. So it's showing how they maintain the clones. Like they have to do the same thing every day. They're not like humans. They don't go outside of the norm, right? They have a mission, they have a protocol, and they follow that protocol. But to keep them level, they have to use MK Ultra and mind control. They also do this to Project Monarch victims who they want to control. So, and the young man's life, played by Jonathan Boyega, he's pretty much alone. He's a loner. And this is why I believe he is targeted. He's around death. His little brother dies. His mother, nobody knows what happened to her in the movie. He's just by himself. And this is what happens. They like to target loners and try to, hack them and clone them. So, this is why, the people of truth got to start to unify. But Anointed One, thank you for the 20. I appreciate the support. Says all praises to the Most High, all praises. I can't say the brother's name, but thank you for the 2. It says, hit the like button, costs you nothing. Absolutely, y'all, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Support the content, because we bringing it out, man. We gonna say what a lot of people are afraid to say because they're afraid to get scrutiny from the black community. I'm not one of those people. I'm gonna tell it like it is, but let's go.
Shit!
Boy, this my fucking okay, we ain't got no time for negativity. Go give me some goddamn wet left. Something that's put You keep your pimp hand raised and be willing to protect the ones you love by any means necessary. I ain't scared. I'm a dope boy, man. Excuse me, kind sir, but if you could pull me to the elevator that leads down to the freaky laboratory,
Don't let the back door hit you.
I'll be out your atmosphere.
And saying the hood rose up against, this ominous presence, that's in the community, because, they got to show some positive going on in the movie. But here's the thing. Here's the question I had when this scene. was going on, I was like, hey, how many people really gonna rise up against those people in the hood? Not too many. You know, brothers rise up against each other, pull a trigger on the next person, but the outside forces, they want to act like they don't even exist. You know what I'm saying? You know how many dudes in the hood would be getting up out of there if they found out what was going on to them? You know what I'm saying? They'd just get out of there. They wouldn't try to fight back. They'd rather pull a trigger on the next man in the hood before they rise up and fight against an outside force. You know what I'm saying? That's why I tell only the like-minded will really rise up. You know what I'm saying? But you don't see that too much. But man, these experiments, man, are they conducting experiments on our people in the hood? Let me tell you about this St. Louis project, right? The woman who put this on blast, she had hundreds of pages of declassified information. She made it available online. Y'all can read it on Daily Mail. That's where I'm at right now. It says, in her research, she found that the greatest concentration of spraying in St. Louis was at Prut Lago Projects housing complex, which was home to 10,000 low-income residents. She said that 70% of those residents were children under the age of 12. Professor Martino Taylor became interested in the topic after hearing independent reports of cancer among city residents living in those areas. This was a violation of all medical ethics, all international codes, and the military's own policy at the same time. And, you know, this is real. And I'm going to show y'all some pictures here because even this projects looks similar to some of the places that you've seen in this movie. Now, this is something that the Army admitted. The U.S. Army admitted all of this. You know what I'm saying? The Army admitted that they had a fluorescent substance. They called it a harmless compound, but they also use additives. It says for radioactive remains. I mean, I'm telling you, this is why you got to read all your ingredients, man. Even when you grocery shopping, when you picking up food, man, you need to look at all your ingredients. I'm telling you some real talk. Hank, thank you for the $5 contribution. I appreciate it. Thanks for the support. Andrea Halton says, I lived in St. Louis, never heard of this. Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely dig into it because that's what this movie was about. But let's continue. We got to talk about this because this is crazy.
Let's get, man. We're on the scene trying to figure out what has happened.
I mean, this shit fucked up. They out here cloning it. What the fuck going on in this bitch?
That's right. That is the prevailing theory.
And you know, at the end of the day, that's what's going on. They really are out here cloning. Y'all gotta understand, man. It's been a DNA war for years now. There's a reason why they stuck Q-tips in your nose to go up through the nasal passages, hit your obturacy gland, and scrape DNA. It's been a reason why they put Red Cross, Blue Shield all in your community to gather your blood samples. It's a reason why on these college campuses, particularly HBCUs, predominantly black colleges, they got sperm donors. They got the sperm donor bank. It's a reason. They need your DNA. Listen, melanated folks, let me talk to you for a moment. Let me talk to you. And if you are a Gentile, you of another nation, you can sit down and listen to, right? We welcome everybody here. Let me break this down to you. You are the original being. You are the original specimen. They can make life through you. All the cloning technology technically came through the study of your DNA because you were the original man and the original woman. It just is what it is. All my Gentile friends, don't get offended by that. It's just a fact. I mean, science tells us that. The DNA tells us that. In fact, God himself tells us that. He said he created Adam from the dirt. What color is dirt? I mean, it just is what it is. Matter of fact, you can get albino from melanated people. The melanin is key. but you cannot get melanin out of two Caucasian people. That's an impossibility. Through the woman, through the melanated woman, all civilization and all life was produced from the melanated man's seed and through the melanated woman's womb. So when it comes to all of this cloning stuff, who do you think they're going to target? People got to wake up. You can't just sit up there and believe that they don't do these things. Now, whether yes, they got the plasma centers. Yeah. Now, whether they smack dab in the hood or not, I'm beginning to believe it. I think this movie is based on true events, ladies and gentlemen. It's based on a true story. It's based on a true story. They are in our communities. We're trying with these basic labs, with these cloning labs. Let's see here. Somebody says, right, makes sense. Somebody says, right, melanin does not just mean dark skin. It is true. Perfect for the Lord says exactly. And this is why they continue to push the interracial agenda. Yep. Tesh, she says, get out in full effect, definitely bidding and selling people to the dark web. Right. And I want everybody to like the video, hit the thumbs up on the video. And if everything is streaming seamlessly, y'all make sure y'all put a 1 in the chat because it looks to be a little frozen on my end. I mean, this stuff is very real. Now, far as the movie. So, Bree, what did you think about the movie? Thank y'all. I appreciate it. When it came to this movie, I thought I could not put my finger on why it had such a nostalgic vibe at first. I couldn't understand why Jamie Foxx was playing a pimp. He didn't play a very good pimp. I don't understand why they made the movie a fantasy movie when it's such reality. But nonetheless, I understood it after watching it. I got what they were trying to do. Paintress, she says, no plasma centers across the river. Oh man, those plasma centers, she says they are all placed in low-income communities. They pay a lot for that plasma. Exactly. They pay a whole lot for it because they can literally clone you with that plasma. That's why they pay a healthy amount of dollars for a lot of people who are struggling in low-income places. They pay a healthy amount of dollars for them. I'm not sure what they pay now, but I know back in the day, it was a quick way to go make you $500 to $1,500, and in a day's time. And although the procedure is painful, going into the spinal column and getting withdrawing fluids and putting people on all these pain meds and things like that, people were doing it. Why? Because people were hurting, people were suffering. There's nothing new under the sun, man. Like, there's nothing funny about them experimenting on our people. Like, some of these ingredients that they put in the chicken and they put in the perm, that really stood out to me. I thought those were major scenes. I thought those were key scenes. Because you're gonna have a lot of people who keep on going to that liquid crack that they putting in their hair. And a lot of people, man, y'all still want to eat McDonald's. Y'all still want to eat Popeyes. I'm serious. Somebody said he must have been one of them guys. Let me see. Says, let me see. Carbon. Somebody said, is 666 carbon, or what color is carbon, aka charcoal? F out of here. He mad. Let me do something. Let me do you a solid. Yeah, let's get you on up out of here. See, we got a lot of Gentiles we rock with, but you can't come over here being disrespectful. That just ain't fitting to happen. And I gave some wrenches out too, because y'all know earlier, man, I was streaming. I barely had wrenches. So some of y'all got y'all's wrenches back. And new some of y'all who are new to having wrenches, y'all got wrenches. Yeah. Yeah. Somebody says I am watching most high and Christ holy. Angels are protected. Right. Yeah, you just gotta be on point out here. And far as the movie go, all right. So I know people want to know what I thought about the movie. Far as its rating, was it a good movie? I mean, let me put it this way: the movie was realistic, and when you're a person who can see, when you just know what you're looking at, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call it a good movie. I thought it was dark. I thought it was dark because it was true, and I can see through what they were doing. When something is true and the rest of the world is laughing, it puts you in an awkward place. It puts you in an awkward place because it's like you sitting here watching it and you like, man, this is what people are being entertained by, not even realizing that these things are actually happening. We are literally walking through the valley of the shadow of death. Our people are dropping like flies, and people are making light of it. And that part really kind of got to me. I couldn't decipher whether the movie was good or not. It was just true. And the fact that I know history and I know how true it is, it kind of bothered me, man, because I know that people really conduct experiments on us. I want to talk about, and a lot of these happened in the 60s. I want to talk about the mouse utopias prediction and the future of humanity, because this is something else that was done to us in the projects. You know what I'm saying? Using mice, where they would stack us up on top of each other. They did all this through mice first to make them territorial. Everything that you see going on in the hood today, with our people killing each other. And then here this person, he made another profile to say that I'm a Canaanite. Let me do you a solid and get you on up out of here. You can keep on making these all day. I mean, damn, just go get a life, sir. Get a life. You see how easy that is? But the fact that I know that these people really are doing these things, man. Let me talk a little bit about this. I wanted to play this video and it says it's unavailable. Well, let me break this down a little bit about these mice experiments, because this is deep. And I'm on Smithsonian Magazine. And it reads, what does utopia look like for mice? According to a researcher who did most of his work in the 1950s through 1970s, it may include limitless food, of course, multiple levels, and secluded little rodent condos. These were all part of John Calhoun's experiments to study the effects of population density on behavior. This all happened in the projects, y'all. But what looked like rat utopias and mouse paradise at first quickly spiraled into an out of control, overcrowding, eventual population collapse, and seamlessly sinister behavior problems and patterns. The mice were not nice. That's what they did to Negroes in the hood. At the peak of the population, most mice spent every living second in the company of hundreds of other mice. They gathered in the main squares, wanting to be fed, and occasionally attacking each other. Few females carry pregnancy to term. Why? Oh, wow, that sounds like us. Few females carry pregnancy to term. Why? Because you got rap music telling women to go down to the clinic and terminate their children. Talking about they the queens of Plan Bs. It says, and the ones that did seem to simply forget about their babies. Very interesting. They moved halfway through their litter away from danger and forgot the rest. Sometimes they dropped and abandoned a baby while they were carrying it. The few secluded spaces housed a population Calhoun called the Beautiful Ones, generally guarded by one male, the females and few males. You know, that's how it go. Inside the space, didn't breed or fight or do anything but eat and groom and sleep. When the population started declining, the Beautiful Ones were spared from violence and death, but had completely lost touch with social behaviors, including having sex or caring for their young. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what they did in the hood. This is what they did in the hood. So when I think about the calculated destruction that they plan for our people, and I see these things off in these movies, and they make it a joke, I just don't see it as a joke. Not to mention, we know that Jamie Foxx, we know that that's not Jamie Foxx. Somebody named AI Matrix. Let me get him up out of here. Oh man, it's a lot of bots. A lot of bots. Just getting them up out of there. Somebody said Jamie's character was a lover and not a fighter. Yeah, I mean, it's clear to me that he was replaced. You know, and that was another way of actually promoting the film. Hollywood is a dark place. Somebody said it's a lot of serious things in the movie. That's no joke. Facts. Yeah, no doubt about that. Somebody said Fox is alive, Bishop is gone. Yeah, okay. But you know, it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. These things are very serious. I think that overall the movie, you know, people gonna watch it. People gonna watch it regardless. You know, whether I tell y'all to support it or don't support it, people gonna do what they want to do. If you want to check the movie out, you check it out. If you want to decipher it, decode it, you know, do what you do. Earlier in my broadcast, LeBron James tried to hit me with a copyright, or his team tried to hit me with a copyright, which is crazy. Off of him throwing up hand gestures. Could you believe that, ladies and gentlemen? I had to fight that earlier. I don't know if y'all seen it when I was breaking down, if y'all were there earlier, when I was breaking down the hand gestures he was doing. Like literally, I got an email from his team. I got, they hit me with a false claim, and I had to go through that whole rigmarole. Luckily, the video is still up, and they allowed me to dispute it. Yeah, so I don't know if it was his team or whatever, but, you know, these people be watching. These people don't have nothing better to do. I don't even know that him throwing up those signs was some kind of commercial. It was no sound to it. I was adding commentary and everything. That was fair use. That was fair use. Yeah, that happened. Oh, yeah, real talk. Real talk. So, you know, this is the kind of things we got to go through. Somebody said, I low-key think some of these celebrities are watching you. There's no doubt about that. Like, I already know. These celebrities, they don't have nothing better to do, to be honest. They watch a lot of Brothers in Truth. They really do. I mean, I know this for a fact. I wish they didn't watch us, but they do. Yep. Somebody said you gotta have me on for another breakdown too, Bree. Oh yeah, definitely gotta bring Jakeem in. Matter of fact, let me share the link right now. I'm gonna bring Jakeem Judah in. Let me see if I can get this. Let me bring bro in. Because I would like to ask the brother, because he helped me do a legendary decoding of the video Messy with Quavo and Takeoff. Before Takeoff was killed, it was me, Rollo, and Jakeem Judah. We decoded the video, and I want to see what Jakeem got out of it, man. Feel free to join, fam. I got more time. I got approximately 20 minutes, or or a little more, just depends. So I'll bring the brother in. Somebody said, "Yo, that breed, that video you did on LeBron being dressed up was hilarious." I know, man. I know he's seen that joint. Anytime I bring up LeBron, man, I know he watching, bro. For real, bro. That joint was hilarious, man. Somebody said, "What about the church scene?" Oh yeah, that's another thing. The church scene of the movie was something else, man. The church scene, it definitely showed you the spiritual delusion that's on a lot of our people. How these churches, they doing something in these churches with the holy water, man. They doing something with the what was it? What's that drink? That the communion wine. They doing something with the communion wine. Yo, Jakeem, if you in the building, put a 1 in the chat if you coming in, bro. If not, I'll let another guest in. Cause I seen the brother in the chat. I would like to know his take on this movie. Yeah, that daggone grape drink. I don't know. Maybe fam got bumped out. Oh, he in the building. You coming through or not? Let me know, cause I'll let somebody else in. I do see the 1. Cause we did a legendary breakdown. I wanna see what you thought about this joint. Yep. Yo, set apart by God. Thank you for the $5 contribution. I appreciate the support. Thank you. Yeah, that Fanta grape was like crack back in the day, man. Yeah, man. You gotta think about it, man. And then the movie is hella racist too when you think about it. It's a lot of stereotypes in that movie. It's a whole lot of stereotypes. Okay, I don't think Ak was able to make it through. It's all good. It's all good, fam. I gave it a few minutes to see what was going on. But ladies and gentlemen, I see the brother right there. Look, right on time. Hey, what's going on, fam?
Man, what's up with you, bro? How you doing?
Man, I can't complain at all, man. I'm feeling fantastic. All praises to the Most High. How you been, fam?
All praises, brother. I'm doing good, man. My connection not that good out here in the country, but we in here.
Oh yeah, all praises, all praises. So did you caught this film, brother?
Yes, I did, bro. I caught it.
Okay. Now you already know, bro. You helped with a legendary breakdown of the takeoff video. I think it was only right that I brung you up in this joint because I want to see what your sentiments are and what you got out of it. What was the takeaway from this joint?
I mean, you really said a lot of the things that I felt, especially with like the nostalgia of it being like from the 60s and everything like that. But I really believe like it's like the all mocking tongue. You know what I mean? They really trying to like put it in our faces and make a mockery of our people. So I didn't even catch the very end. I ain't gonna lie, I got frustrated. With what I was seeing. And then I think another key part was with the with how they was able to control them. I thought that was another key point too when it comes to like the whole MK Ultra thing, because I still think to this day with the whole Will Smith, when he got on stage and everything, I was like, man, it's like somebody's controlling this brother. You know what I'm saying? And all the things that he said afterwards. And I feel like when they showed it in the film, how they could actually control them to make them do things, that made me remember what Will Smith did as well. And I was like, yo, this is real. Like, people think this is a conspiracy and stuff like that, but this stuff is really going on in Hollywood, man. For
Right.
sure.
Absolutely. And far as the association with Jamie Foxx and his disappearance due to medical issues, what connection do you think this movie has with that? Or do you believe, because there's a lot of different narratives, do you believe that it was all marketing, or is it life imitating art, or art imitating life? What you think about this?
All right, so as far as the whole Jamie Foxx situation goes, now the movie was filmed before. I believe the movie was filmed before they actually, did what they did to Jamie Foxx. And I think that I don't know if he had anything to do with producing the movie, but I feel like Jamie was trying to blow the whistle. You know what I'm saying, with this movie. And I believe that he knew what was going to happen to him, because there's not a coincidence how he was supposedly had died in the hospital, and now we seeing the new images of him, and he got the whole Beijing, his hairline completely different, facial structure completely different, and all this stuff, right? So I don't think it's a coincidence how, right after he made this movie, it seemed like the man has been cloned.
Right. Absolutely.
But I do think that's the real Jamie in the movie, because of how the timeline,
Right.
how the whole timing thing goes. But I really believe that Jamie knew what was going to happen. He knew his fate for sure.
Absolutely. No, I totally agree on that. I do believe that was definitely the real Jamie there. Uh, from my understanding, it was the movie with Cameron Diaz where he had to go. Well, allegedly, he went and got the played with the sharp object, and then from that point, that's where everything went AWOL. But man, it. What are some notable scenes, brother, that you've seen? And I'm Rollo's going to be coming in a minute, because I think it's only right, because we did a breakdown before, so we're going to bring Rollo in the building too. Matter of fact, let me clear this screen. What are some of the notable scenes that stood out to you when you was watching?
Really, like, I got more questions. Like, maybe you can answer. Like, so for the main character, right? When he got shot and he died, right? And then he woke up as the clone. Like, I want to know, like, how does he have the same memories? You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I believe in the whole cloning thing, but I really don't understand how, like, do they have the same memories as you, or like, is it you, but then you wake up in another body? You feel me? Like, that's what they made it seem like. He died, right? But then he woke up in another body. Like, when he was the first body, he had a dream. He got shot. It was almost like it was a dream to him, but it happened in real life. But
happened in real life.
Another body. So it's like that kind of confused me a little bit. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh man, let me address that. Rollo's in the building. Salute to Rollo. What's going on, family?
What's going on, fellas? What's happening?
What's going on? No, but I believe what X Vision said in the chat, a conscious transfer. I don't know if y'all remember the song with Future. I woke up in a new Bugatti. Right. The word Bugatti actually means body. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can wake up in a new body, and I think that I think there's individuals out there who are targeted, and they're under MK Ultra, and some of these individuals are willing participants, because anybody who joined the industry, for instance, they got to undergo certain things, such as like Project Monarch and mind control. So I think it would be easier for somebody like Jamie Foxx to actually really transfer his consciousness. Also, Black Mirror speaks a lot about that too, where they can take the consciousness from one person and put it in a different body. But I mean, that's deep, man. That's deep.
There's a movie on Netflix called Altered Carbon that's literally about the same thing.
Facts. Yep. Yeah. Rollo, what's going on, fam? What's your thoughts on this movie, man? We just in here decoding, trying to decipher what went on.
Well, first and foremost, what I get out of the picture Neri situation is that they don't want you to leave the cities, for one, because what happens is when you leave the cities and you leave these high-rise places and you get away from all the noise, you start picking up more of what's going on with you in your environment. Oftentimes, people that live in the city, especially for a long time, don't have the time to get to know themselves and get to know their environment very well until you leave. And then when you go back, you don't see it the same than the person that's been there most of their life. So in that time frame before the Martin Luther King movement, people was ready to go move to the West Coast. They was going to listen to Booker T. Washington. If you look at the person that had the P hair, and you look at Booker T. Washington's hair, it's kind of similar. It's like they're showing you pictures in people's faces, but they want you to follow the Black Devo's way instead of the righteous way. That's why I picked up so far in the movie.
Okay. So just to quantify what was just said, you believe that it's pretty much a battle between the 2/3 and those who got the light, but trying to make those who have the light basically refrain from actually getting away from those environments where they're being poisoned, because essentially that's what it was about. They were trying to make the people agreeable using chemical warfare. So agreeable to what? They never really said in the film. Like, all right, so why are they putting this in the chicken? Why are they putting this in a perm? Why are they putting this in a grape drink? Are you trying to suppress the conscience of those who can see and keep them right where they at? It's like they're trying to keep people, because some of the 2/3 wake up too every day, and then some of the 1/3 fall asleep every day, right?
Correct.
That's what's going on in the world. So they're trying to stop us from breaking. That's what I got out of what Rollo just said. But yeah.
And then on top of that, the chick situation, if you notice, the guys wasn't getting that much, play until certain, infantry started happening. What I mean by that is that some outside force, the music, some of the guys were shy, and then all of a sudden they seen something that's unusual, they pick it up. It's like a pep in the step. Like if certain guys drink, they know how to talk. But when they don't drink, they don't know how to talk. They eat certain things, they get more extra with it. They get more sassy with it. But when they don't eat certain things, they just quiet. You don't hear a peep out of them. That's why also I caught in that movie.
Yeah, I think it's all about, my main point is that movie showed me that the agenda it's all about keeping people docile, especially the so-called Black community, us Hebrew Israelites. It's about keeping us docile, because when you docile and you eating poison, you putting poison on your skin through these products, then you're easier to control. That's what it's about. That's the main point that I got from this movie.
Absolutely. That's real talk. I mean, that was definitely a big part of it. And what do you fellas think about cloning labs, the possibility of cloning labs being in trap houses? I want to know what y'all brothers think about that. I mean, is it that far-fetched in hindsight?
I don't think it's far-fetched. I think it would actually make sense though, man. Like, I grew up in the hood, man. I grew up in Petersburg, Virginia, and actually in Southside Richmond, Virginia, for all my DMV folks out there. And so, I like to say in my past life, we was in some bandos. So it's kind of crazy though, because like when I still drive through my old neighborhood and stuff, it'd be like the abandoned buildings be having some activity going on. You know what I'm saying? Not to say they got no cloning labs and stuff like that going on, but it's definitely some activity going on, man, in the hoods right now. Definitely.
Right. I mean, from my aspect of it, that'd be the perfect place, because it's right there in plain sight. And there's a lot of abandoned homes, man. They're not doing nothing with them, but it seemed like it's the people are few and far in between. Like you don't even see as many people in certain communities, at least when I was growing up, but you still see them same ran down buildings and homes. So like, what is going on here?
Right.
Somebody said they could be possibly trafficking children through them. I mean, it's a lot that could be going on. You know what I'm saying? But that's crazy.
You know what though, fellas? Here's the thing. When you stay in these confined places, it's already empty. there's never been no living in these places. It's just that when you leave these places, you start to live. But when you live in these places, you're not living. That's why they keep on telling people to move. Particularly now, I'm gonna say this respectfully: the South, to me, is where we're supposed to be more than the North, because it's something about the North that our people wanted to go. They made the choice, and it dissected us. So when you're in the South, you develop more, you get more things done. But when you're in the North, it closes you off from doing certain things because of the weather in certain seasons. In that video, it was like different climates. They were showing you the cold, they were showing you the warm, they were showing you the depression, and then they amp you up, and then they depress you again. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know what made our people go up north, but I believe that it's something they did. They wired the trains for us to go up north. And ever since then, we've been going downhill since. Because when you go back to the South, they always say it's slow. But I'm going to be honest, it's more slower in the North than it is in the South when it comes to certain things, man, especially when it comes to business.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah, I agree on that. I definitely agree on that. And, one of the things that we've been doing within the nation, man, United Nation of Israel, is preparing, like getting out of the cities and trying to purchase land and live on said land. Because when you look at it, man, your spirit can be vexed just living right there in the midst of all of that that's going on, and it's quite difficult for you to see the full perspective and the full picture of things when it's in the air, like when it's literally in the air. So the movie, it seemed to really try to show you some of the tools they use to keep us like in that headspace. And I think that's how a lot of people get stuck places. Don't even know what you eating. And Jakeem brought this up, man. What you eating, what you drinking, the perms, whatever you putting on yourself, it can stop you from being able to even have the ability to get outside and make different moves and that to see the full spectrum and the full scope of things. And that's why I didn't really think the movie was funny. Like, I didn't think it was entertainment. I'm like, I thought they was bold. I'm sitting here watching it like, are they really telling us this? And it made me believe, like, it made me look at it like, yo, if they that bold with telling us this, our people in the communities, they gotta be lost, bro. Like, they gotta be really going through it. They really got to be suffering. For that movie to be acceptable, even just the stereotypes alone, man, we in a bad place, man. The Messiah gonna have to get this right. That's just all it's gonna take. But that's real talk.
Yeah, that's real talk, brother. For them to show you their hand and still play it, that's crazy.
Right. For real.
Yeah,
really,
man.
In a war. We definitely in a war.
About to hit a little bit more on the not to get off track, but to hit a little bit more on like the food situation. I just recently went like plant-based, you know what I'm saying? Plant-based, only high vibrational foods, because I had did research and seen that we have a list of over, and I created this list through my research. There's over 20 products and foods that's actually banned in other countries that we sell here every day and that people eat every single day in the United States.
Right, man. I don't doubt that at all. I don't doubt that at all.
Crazy.
So, and it seemed like the so-called powers that be know that our people are becoming more conscious to what they're doing. So they have to cloak it and mask it in entertainment even more. Like, they have to go through great lengths. Just even if you look at the marketing behind this film, it was destined to be #1 on Netflix. Because the magic is so deep. It's like, our people, we're waking up. We are waking up, but the ones who can see, they want to keep us docile. But it ain't gonna happen, man. The chosen and the righteous are waking up. So all praises to the Most High for that. Now, it was one more question I had for you fellas, like involving the movie. They cloned Tyrone. And this is just regarding the whole cloning thing, the AI situation. Do you all believe that our people, the children of Israel, are being cloned, or at least they're setting a stage to have clones to replace us because they still need the work out of us. Like they still need their institutions ran. They still need our labor. They still need everything. And I know people gonna say this some conspiracy stuff. You going too deep, Bree. I just want to know what other people think because I know what I think. I reserve my thoughts. I know what I think about the situation, but I want to see where y'all's brothers' heads at regarding
Hey, why not have some fun with it, right?
Yes, sir.
Why not have some fun with it? I mean, bro, can the chosen be cloned though? That's what I gotta ask first, bro. Like,
Right.
the chosen gotta be different, right?
Right.
Can the chosen be cloned? That's my question. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I think the ones that set apart, bro. I don't think it's I don't think it's possible. I think it's only possible to clone the 2/3, mainly the celebrities, because we already know what side they chose. So the enemy has authority to be able to clone them. I don't think they can clone the chosen, bro. I might be wrong, but I don't know. I just feel in my spirit that you can't do it.
Right. I agree with that. I don't think they're cloning the chosen, but I do believe they're cloning Israelites.
That's absolutely.
Oh yeah. But here's the thing, though. They cloning our accounts. I'm gonna tell you why I know they cloning our accounts. Think about it. How many times y'all been having issues with your accounts over the last 6 months?
Oh yeah.
Think about that for 1 second.
Now they
everybody. Yeah, they don't have to clone us, but they could clone your accounts and make people believe that you talking to them and you haven't talked to them, or they say you sent something to them, you didn't send something to them. So they could do the skits on people you rock with and talk with. They could do that. That's they clone it, but they can't clone you.
Right.
Exactly. They could use AI. They could definitely use AI against us. That's no doubt about that. Matter of fact, it's been so many clones in my comment section with my Banneker. I block them, they come right back seconds later. Like that's what they do. Matter of fact, I told the brothers and sisters about my account being hacked and different things like that. So I know what they're trying to do with that. They want to use deep fake. But I think you're right.
They're gonna try to make you breathe.
Oh yeah, they're gonna try to get a lot of brothers who speak truth. Because listen, like the powers that be, they make like it's a system that's all of this is a system, and they look at us as gatekeepers to a degree because they trying to see who's coming to the truth, who's leading. They want to be able to mimic that so they can lead people the wrong way. But the Most High not going to let that happen. That's why we got to be on point. Get our malware protection, spyware protection. Pay attention. Don't click on links. If you're a YouTuber, if you see a private link get sent to you or a private video, don't click on that. They know how to look like YouTube, and it's actually a hacker. Pay attention to all that stuff, man. They could steal from you the whole nine. So you just got to be on point with that. But no doubt about it. But same question for Brother Rollo. Well, he already answered it as well. So I agree, man. They out here getting the 2/3 big time. But now they ain't closing the chosen. They ain't cloning the chosen. That's a fact. All right, man. All praises to the Most High. Man, I had to have you brothers on because it was a legendary breakdown. I seen a sister in the chat ask, where could she find that video? It's actually on my music channel about the takeoff video that we did. We did a breakdown on that.
And it was back in November. It was around Halloween, a little after Halloween time.
Right. And I want you brothers to give all your information where they can find y'all on social media, Jakeem and Rollo, and y'all go follow these brothers, man.
No, yeah, you can follow me right here on YouTube. I drop videos sometimes 2-3 times a week at Jakeem Judah. Also on TikTok, I'm at about 5 million right now total views. Been doing my thing on TikTok a lot, so you can follow me at Jakeem the Creator, and Instagram _Jakeem Judah. All praises to the Most High Yah.
All praises. All right, Rollo.
Y'all guys can follow me and ladies at Floridian Rollo Regular Talk on YouTube. And I also got a patreon.com/wake the hell up 7 if you want to support that. That's pretty much it.
All right. All praises to the Most High, man. Thank you, fellas, for spending your time on here and assisting me with this breakdown, man. It's highly appreciated. I know y'all some busy brothers doing y'all's content, and man, thank y'all. I appreciate it.
Man,
All
thank
right,
you.
brother. Shalom and peace, fellas.
You gotta
All
have
right.
me back on, Bree. We need to do some more work, brother.
Absolutely. Hey, we got to plug in too, man. We got to get you your national flag, ID, all that, man, and plug you in with the UNY.
Ready.
Yes, it's
Yeah, I'm gonna
time.
definitely work on that myself too. Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. We want you brothers in, man, because it's the time is now. And we're gonna be talking about some things behind the scenes too. So I'll keep you brothers posted, man. Thank y'all again.
All right, peace.
All
Brother,
right.
one in the
Shalom.
chat. Appreciate you, brothers. Christ bless.
Christ bless. Shalom and peace.
Long.
Right. All right, brothers and sisters, it's been an excellent broadcast. Thank y'all for tuning in. Support my content at patreon.com/newbreed. Also support me at newbreed.love. Thank y'all for tuning in. Turn that post notification bell on so you can get these videos as they're being uploaded. With that being said, shalom and peace.